Hello everyone, Romy Singh here from the Growth Cafe, and today I'm going to talk about the importance of having a system in place to generate leads and clients on a consistent basis for freelancers. Freelancers have some biggest challenges that they need to deal with to get clients on a consistent basis. The first is overthinking about the client and the process. We tend to overthink a lot about how to get a client, where to get a client, and if this client suits me or not, and lots of other reasons. Overthinking kills opportunities. So that is one of the biggest challenge that we freelancers have. We tend to overthink about how to get clients, and if we're able to get some clients, then are they good fit to work with or not. I'm not saying that you should work with every clients or every leads that you get. There needs to be that filtration process, but that is something totally different than overthinking before you even meet the client or discuss the project or something like that. Second challenge we have is we don't know what to do next. Let's say you have a work and you started working on it, but once it's done, what's the next step? How do you get the next client, or what do you do to get a consistent source of clients? So we are always lost in that loop, what to do next after we are done delivering one project. And third, this one I think is the biggest, is scared of getting out and finding work. Most of the freelancers kind of tend to live in a box, like where they have a very limited resources to find clients. Like they believe either they are not very confident about their abilities, or they are not very open to jump in the market and pitch about themselves. Let's call them introverts. So how they can get out of that box, out of that comfort zone to find more clients? Lots of freelancers hate selling themselves, or they think they are not good at it. I believe every freelancer who has a skill set, has delivered at least one or two projects, is a very good salesperson. Why I'm saying that? Because you already have sold your service to person who needs it. And remember that when you are selling something to a person who needs it, it's way easier than to selling yourself or selling something to a person who's just aware of this thing. All our clients are in need of our skill set, or a skill set that you have as a freelancer, or the service that you provide as a freelancer. So remember that you don't need to be good at selling. You just need to tell the client how you're going to deliver the value with the skill set or the service that you have. And the fifth biggest challenge that we freelancers face is not being able to judge the pay rate. Like, what is the paying hourly charges that we have, or project basis charges, or the packages charges. Like we sometimes tend to get lost in this whole process to price ourselves right, like to price your skills right. When I started, I was also in that dilemma, that am I charging too much for what I'm doing, or is my charges lesser as compared to what I'm providing? Because you remember this, if you look in the market, there is someone who's providing the same service as you, and you might have been tracking one or two people who works in your niche as a freelancer. You can't base your price rate based on their proficiency, or you can't base your price rate based on their skill sets, or their work process, or their prices, because you're a totally different person, and you have totally different way to deliver. You might be providing higher quality services as compared to them. So you can't let their charges or pricing model affect you. Yes, you can take an idea from it and adjust according to yourself. Now, this is the sixth is the most important point. 90 to 95% freelancers don't have a system in place to get clients on a consistent basis. They do not have it. I will be telling you certain steps that most freelancers relies on getting clients. But by the end of this video, you will have an idea why you need a system, and why it's important for you to have a system in its place to get clients on a consistent basis. Like the biggest reason of failure as a freelancer is not lack of opportunities, it's inactions. There are lots of people who are looking for the skill set that you have. So don't believe that there's not enough market for you to get clients, or there's the person is already hogging all the clients. There's nothing like that. There's always need in the market. It's just that you are not taking an action, or you're not being visibly available for that person to reach you out. Remember that The most important point here is you being in front of the clients, or you being in front of potential prospects, so that they can pick you, so that they can choose you. And how you achieve that is by taking actions or promoting yourself or doing content marketing. That's a totally different topic, but in simple way, by taking actions that help you to be visible in your market or be visible in your niche. So remember that the biggest reason of failure is not lack of opportunities, it's inaction. So take actions. Majorly, there are two types of actions. One is an action that leads towards your goal. One is that an action that leads you further from your goal. There's a very thin line between these two actions. So like for example, if you want to get a client, then you need to promote yourself, or you need to make sure that you are visible to that client. Now there are certain ways to do that. First way is you creating a landing page and generating leads and things like that, and then you pitching them out. Second way is updating your portfolio, finishing up your website again and again after 4 months, and posting on social media to get a client. Now there's huge difference between these two actions. The first action will get you in front of lots of new people, while the second action, updating your website or updating your portfolio, will not get you client. It's just an asset which you're gonna use to make sure that the client converts or the client works with you. Remember that asset only comes into the picture when you are able to set up a meeting with the client. That's a totally different game. So you cannot think of it like, by updating your portfolio or something, you'll get a client. No, that's an action that taking you further from your goal, and that is to make a client. But while you create a landing page or an opt-in page, and you generating client leads which you can later on follow up and convert them, or you are visiting a job boards and finding out the job postings which are related to you, taking saving them up, and then you following them with this kind of actions will take you closer to your goals, and that is getting a client. Now this is where I think 99% freelancer fail. They do not have a CRM or use CRM management tools. You don't need to spend money here. There are lots of tools available in market which allows you free for manage your client data to a certain extent. You can pretty much just sign up one of them. If you do a simple Google, that will give you an idea about it. But it is important to have a CRM in place. Do you use CRM to store your client detail? If you do, then you are already ahead of 90 to 95% freelancers, because believe me, they don't use CRMs to manage their client data. I will tell you what is the benefit of doing this a bit later in this video. But remember this, if you don't have it, then you have to set it up right after this video, right after you're done watching this video, and store all your client data you have worked with in the past years in that CRM. Now most freelancers tend to focus on working with client, like their own sole focus is just like get a client, deliver the value that they promised to deliver, and then just they totally forget about the client. There's no connection, there's no approach, like nothing. It's totally like like you just came in, work, and then forget about it. Now that's not the way to work. Remember this, working with a client where you have already worked with him once, or working with a client where you provided value or where you have over delivered to the client, becomes way more easier. Why? Because the client already familiar with your process. The client is familiar with how much value you are able to deliver. Most importantly, the client knows your skill set. The client knows how good you are at what you do. So it's always suggested that don't let go of clients once you are done working with them. Approach them. I will tell you how to do that later in this video, but just make sure you save all the details of a client who you have worked with in CRM, or if you don't have any CRM, you can pretty much just store in a plain Excel sheet. As I mentioned, like converting a client or approaching a client where with you have worked in the past is a lot easier than converting a new client. Remember that. Now this is another step where like 99% freelancer like just down, like they don't do this. They literally don't do this. Like imagine this, if you see a job posting or if you see a work opportunity, you send a mail to that client. Remember, you don't know in what situation that client is. Can he access his phone? Can he access his email? Or he's in vacation? You don't know it. So you don't know the situation like the client is, or how many mails that client has gotten for this, like, from this same job posting. He might have gotten 100 of emails just like you from freelancer. So your email might be, buried in those 100. So, you send the first mail. After that, around 100 freelancer will send the first mail. The second follow-up mail will only be sent by 10 freelancer. Like, that's how bad it is. No, 90 to 95% freelancer, or maybe even 99% freelancer, don't follow up with a client or with a potential prospects. Like, they don't follow up. They just drop right after the bat when they don't hear reply to the first mail. Now, that's not how you get more conversion. That's not how you get clients. So if you exceed the level of sending the first mail, or you send up the follow-up mail, then you're already ahead in the game by 90 to 95% freelancer. Let's say 100 people applied for the same job posting, only 10 followed up, and in those 10 you are the one freelancer. Now you will have the eye of the client. Now after certain days you don't hear back again from the client, you send the third follow-up. Now this is where only 1 or 2 people follow up. They just again they think, okay, the person must have hired, or the person must have like that. Till you don't get a response from a client that they have already hired, keep following up with them, because it's probably that they are looking for a very niche person or very specific person, and you could be that person. Now let me tell you a story of my own, my own personal experience with follow-up emails. Around 2 years ago, I was looking for new clients. I was looking to grow my clientele, and I was looking for clients of a certain budget, like certain criteria. So I did some Google research. I went through lots of job posting. I looked for lots of RFPs. I found one RFP which meets my requirement. It was really amazing job opportunities, but it was already at least 15 days old, and I had only 4 days to apply for that job. I sent my first mail on that same day, like with all the portfolio, all the proposal, whatever I can do and what I can deliver, and with other delights. I waited for 24 hours. I did not hear back anything from the client. I mailed again. I waited for 2 more days. I did not hear back. I mailed him on the last day of the expiry date of the job, the job listing or the RFP. The last day I got a mail stating back that the client has just came back from a vacation, and he's found my email and all the follow-up email, and he would like to schedule an appointment with me. I grabbed the opportunity and I hopped on a call and I converted the client. Now, if I would have not followed up, do you think I would have gotten that work opportunity? 100% not. So it only became possible because I kept following up. And the second advantage of it is that all my follow-up mails were on the same thread. So the client saw that I am consistently approaching him. I'm an enthusiastic person. Remember that people judge you based on, the content that you draft, based on the things that you deliver. So he had already started to, make that parameters about my characteristics and all that. And then we just hop on a call and we discussed the things and everything went nice. And then we decided to work together. I worked with that person for 6 months. It was a good work and everything was really nice. So again, remember that following up with a client is very important. Forget about that, how they feel and you're spamming them or something. You're not spamming them. We are just trying to figure it out whether they have hired someone or whether they have not hired yet. That's clear. There's nothing else that you're trying to. You're not trying to sell them anything. You're not trying to, give them a life-changing opportunity offer. You're just trying to help them achieve what they want to achieve with your skill set. Simple. So please follow up with your clients. Now, as you said, what freelancers do when they don't have work? Most of the freelancers live a very monotonous routine. Like, they will get a client, they will work on the project, they will deliver the project, and then after they don't know what to do, how to get a client. So there are certain things that these freelancers do, and I don't want you to do any of them. Okay, the first thing is they hunt on social media for work. Okay, it's to the certain extent it can work, but remember that the client who post on social media are not gonna be those big clients. Like, you might get a work of $200, $300, but that's not something that you are trying to shoot for. You're not looking for a work opportunity which is just worth of $200 or $300. If you are starting, that's a good amount for you to start with, or your play. It's a good playground for a starters or for a newbie freelancers, but not if you have a more than 1 year experience. I would not suggest you to work lower than what is your expected prices and what is the prices that you have decided for yourself. So hunting on social media, I think around 50 to 60% freelancers go for that. They go in the Facebook groups, they go to different places, they go to pages, they pretty much sometimes they also DM to people, prospect peoples. Yeah, you can get clients, I'm not refuting this. There are work opportunities, but remember, these are not those big work opportunities which will change your life, or which will provide you opportunities to build something for yourself. Second method, this is very popular method, and I think when I started, I was like around 9 years ago. I was also one of this person who followed this method, hope and pray method. You got a client, you deliver the work, and then you just sit and hope that another client you will approach you, or someone will refer you a client, and then you'll start working with that person. That's not how it happens, and there's no guarantee that if you get a referral, you'll be able to crack that person. Remember that the freelancing is like throwing darts at the board. The more the darts you throw, the more chances you have to hit in the mid center. So that's how it is. If you are relying on hope and pray method, forget getting a client. You are just gonna starve yourself and be a dead fish in the water. Now, third method, which is very popular method, and I think most of the freelancers get work through this, but again, I would not suggest you to go with this method, because again, these are the people who already have decided like how much they're gonna pay for the service that they want, and what they want is like a millions of things in a very small package. People who post on job postings like Upwork and things like that, they have a huge list of it. There are ways to filter Upwork to get good clients, but if you don't know that how to do that, then all the listings that you will see on the Upwork related to your skill set or related to your services are gonna be something which is like 10 tasks, $300 or $10 per hour. I have personally seen a job posting which are made me like seriously collect 10,000 email in just $10. Are you kidding me? Like that. So yeah, job posting is a very good source of getting clients, but you have to learn the process of filtering the work out. If you don't know how to do that, just comment below this video. I'll create a video on that in future. Now, the fourth method, I will highly recommend it. Emailing a potential prospects. Now, how do you find this prospect? Now, the fourth step is really important, and it has a follow-up stages. Like, it cannot be just directly, started directly. It has a follow-up procedures to reach to this point, which is by emailing potential prospects. Now, how do you get this prospects? I'll tell you later in this video, but this is the method where I want you to focus most. Like finding a pool of leads, pool of potential prospect, and then emailing them, reaching out to them, sending them a questionnaire, sending them your client intake form, doing all that, and then filtering them, and then scheduling an appointment, and then getting them on a call and converting them. I want you to follow up this method, emailing potential prospect. The advantage of doing this is you are the one who controls everything. Let me give you another example. If you go to job posting, or you find a job listing which is related to you, okay, you went through the job listing, you will see what the exact thing the client wants and the price rate that he has decided. He has pretty much decided everything. So you have a very limited space to modify, to restructure things that meets your your side of the deal. Like you get something out of that deal. There's a very less room to do that. But in emailing potential prospect, you are the one who controls the negotiation. You are the one who reached out to the potential prospect and tell them, this is what I can do. I saw that you need this, and this is what I can provide, and these are my charges, and I want to see if we are good fit together to work together. Like all these things, you are the one who's controlling the steering wheel here. So pretty much, if you do this, you are gonna get clients which are way beyond $1,000 a month, or $2,000 a month, depending on what skill set you have. So I highly recommend following the fourth method, which is emailing potential prospects. As I mentioned earlier in this video, by redesigning or updating your website, you will not get a client, and it's not a system that will generate your client on a consistent basis. By uploading your new works or new to your portfolio, you're again not gonna get a client. That's just waste of time, because who's gonna see that if you don't drive traffic to your portfolio? And even if you drive traffic to your portfolio, the conversion rate gonna be super low if you're not doing things right way, and you don't have time to do all those things because you are a freelancer, you're not a marketer. So you'll have to hire someone to do all that to make sure you get some work from your portfolio page. That's too much pain in the, what I mean. Responding to questions in Facebook groups or in Quora or other platform in forums will not gonna get you client. These are just total waste of time. People who lurk there are not there to hire you. They're just there to find a cheap solution for their problems, and you are not that solution. Remember that. You wouldn't want to work with this low paying people or low paying potential prospects. Why? Because low paying clients always comes with a lot of baggage, lot of burdens. They drain you out so that you won't be able to put your time to the clients which matter to you the most. It's coming from experience. I have stopped taking clients which doesn't meet my criteria of a certain level of pricing. Even if I don't have work, I don't want to work with that person. I can use my time to somewhere else doing something fruitful, but not taking headache. So remember that. Don't take works which are just low paying or low hanging fruits, because that's not the game you want to play. That's not something that you should be doing as a freelancer. So as I said, updating your portfolio, updating your site, or answering in social media groups or forums is not a system. Then what is a system then? A system can be defined as organizing few key steps or few key pages, to be very specific here, to get a consistent source of leads or potential prospects. It's not about building the best lead magnet. It's about putting different pieces together in right order. You don't need to create a amazing landing page or put together a amazing lead magnet and then create the whole 9 yard of the sales funnel or lead funnel. No, you don't need to do anything that. Those are things which is way higher. Yes, you can do that if you want them, but if you reach to a certain stage of freelancing where you're making more than, let's say, $10,000 a month or $15,000 a month, then you can hire people which can go full scale in the system that I'm about to tell you later in this video. So a system is something which you lay out to get a consistent source of clients or leads or prospects. Right now, think about a step that you need. Right now, just picture your freelance journey. Think about the process that you have been following till now to get a client. Think about the steps that you need to build your own system. I have already given you the key points to lay out the foundation of it. I will be revealing a basic or a common system later in this video to get more leads, client leads and potential prospect. But you have to think on your own. You have to think about how you have been doing freelancing, how you have been getting clients, and create your system based on that experience, based on that the drive that you have. Because remember that the components of a system would be similar for pretty much every freelancer there, but how they create the system will not be similar, and it will vary for the freelancers to freelancers. So think about your steps that you need to build your freelance system. Now this is a common steps that involves in building a freelance system that will generate leads on a consistent basis for you. Like you can literally drill down on all these steps that mentioned on this slide, that you can literally drill down and customize them according to your needs, and according to your desire, that gets you more result like that. Because as I mentioned you, things will change based on your experience. A system that I have will not work for you, because I have something, I provide a different service, or I have a different way of working with people like that. And second thing which a system help you with is saving time. Like, time is the most precious commodity for all of us. We can pretty much get a client or something like that, but we cannot get time back. So that's why you need in a system in a place, so that you don't waste your time by talking to clients which are not going to work with you. Like, by putting a system in a place, you already filter out most of your clients that that you think that would not be perfect fit to work with. So that's why you need to have a system. Now, what are these four steps of a system, or four common steps of the system? The first is source. So you need to find a source, or you need to create that source. So there's a both way of the system. Either you find the source or you create the source. Now, by finding the source, what I mean that you can find a like a job listing or job sites like Upwork, freelancers, or other sites like that. And there are job boards which are very specific in niche. Like if you are like a web designer, then there's a job listings or job posting sites for web designers only. So you pretty much make a list of 10 or 20 websites like this. That could be your source. Or you create your own source. You create a bait. You create a landing page. I'm not talking about a full-fledged landing page. You create a very simple landing page which just gives out something for free, which is very tightly related to what you provide. Now, for example, here I'm a sales funnel designer, so I can simply provide like something like multiple things which will relate to my potential client. Like, or I can put 8 steps to do a funnel audit, so that that your funnel is working or not. Like, I can create a simple things like that. Or if you don't want to create a lead, or you don't have resources to create a lead, then you can simply put like 15 minutes of audit call, or 15 minutes of discovery call for your service. 15 minutes of discovery call dash dash dash. For me, it would be 15 minutes of discovery call to audit your funnel, to see to boost your funnel conversion rate by 2x, and then put your email ID and put your name. Simple. So as I mentioned, you don't need to create something fancy. You just need to create something which is highly relevant to what you are providing, to the service that you are delivering. Now, once you have this source in place, the second step is filtering it out. By what I mean filtering it out, like if once you have built this source and you have started to promote this source, there are lots of ways to promote this. I will discuss that later in this video. But let's say you're getting leads. You're getting lots of like people downloading your leads, or scheduling the discovery call. You don't need to hop on each and every call. That's gonna be too time consuming and draining. So you need a element there, or you need a step there that will filter the client work for you, or filter the clients for you that you think will fit for you, that you'll think that are fit to work with. So how do you do that? You create a questionnaire, you create a client intake form, and then you send out this intake form to this leads. Can you please fill out this intake form, so that I have a better idea about what you are looking for about your business, so that when we hop on a discovery call, we can use that 15 minutes which I have allocated to you to more prominently and to deliver value to you. So that way the client will share the information, because obviously client wants to know what is wrong with his funnel, or what is wrong with his website, so that he can generate more money from his website, or more money from his sales funnel. So you need to create a client intake form. Now, how do you create a client intake form? I have written a detailed blog post about it, and I'm also providing a client intake form that I use personally, and 32 questions that you can use to create your client intake form. I will provide that link to that blog post or link to that guide in the comments in the description of this video. You can just visit it and download it and see how you can create your own client intake form. Remember that client intake form is like a lifeblood for freelancers. They're like, that they're like those lifeguard that you see around beaches which save you from drowning. They're just exactly like that, because if you don't have it, you will be drained by dealing with all these leads that you're getting. It is important to filter out those leads. Now once you have filtered out those leads, or the people who revert back to you with the filled up client intake form, get on that 15-minute discovery call or 15-minute blueprint call or whatever you want to call it, and offer a value to certain extent. After that, you pitch your service, your offer, that how you can improve all this for the client. Remember that. Don't pitch directly. First, deliver the delight, set up the environment by offering value, by telling them what is wrong with their website and how it can be fixed and what kind of impact will have. Now here you can use your portfolio, you can use your the experiences to boost the chances of getting the client on board. So the third step is to pitch. So it doesn't matter whether you convert every client that you hop on a call, because if you do that, then you won't be able to handle the workload. So remember that you don't need to convert every discovery call. You will have to have set up a limits for yourself. Okay, 5 clients, then I will wait for a certain time and then I'll get client. Don't get lost in the constant loop of working and getting client and working. That's too draining, and that will take out the value that you're trying to provide to the client. So don't do that. Your goal here is to convert people. Like, let's say you can provide quality service to 5 clients in a month. Then your goal is to get 5 clients for this month with this whole lead system. Now that's clear. After the people who have not worked with, or also people who have worked with, you reach out to them after 45 days or 55 days or whatever the time you decide, and you repitch them. You just approach them and you resell your service again to them. They might have not decided to work with you in the last time, but they might decide to do it now because the situation might be different. You might become affordable to them, or you might they might have not had a good experience with the last person who they decided to work with. So approach them, resell them your services. You can do that with both. You can do that with the clients who have not who have not converted with, or you can do that with the client who you have worked and already delivered the work. These are the 4 key elements in any freelance system where people where you generate leads on consistent basis, where you generate potential prospects on a consistent basis. So what are these 4 key steps? Again, first you need to build a source where you can consistently generate leads or potential prospect. Then you need to filter out these leads or potential prospects so that you can decide which client is perfectly fit to work with, or which clients are not. Then you hop on a call, you deliver value, and then you pitch your service. After that, reach out to them, you reconnect with them after 45 days, 55 days, 60 days. I'll leave the timeline to you to decide. Then you resell them, you reapproach them through email sequence. You set up an email sequence and then you reapproach them and you try to sell them again. A simple freelance system that is based on all the 4 key elements that we just discussed. So you create an opt-in page. As I said, that opt-in page can be like a discovery call, or like a free PDF, or like a free report, anything that's relevant to your service. Remember that's the key here. It needs to be highly relevant with the service that you provide. After that, you send the leads a client intake form for them to fill out. Then you send them, you hop on a call, or you send them your offer through an email sequence, or through a video call or Zoom call. The medium doesn't matter here. It will change from freelancers to freelancer, but you can decide how to sell your offer, how to pitch your service to them. So that's the third step. in the third step, you might convert certain people and you might not convert certain people. In the fourth step, you will reapproach these people, whether they have decided to work with you or they have not decided to work with you. You will reapproach all of these leads and try to, sell them again your service, or sell them something new that you have, or sell them a simple product that you are created. Remember that they are very highly related people for you. So a simple freelance system consists of this 4 or 5 elements depending on that. You create an opt-in page, then you send the onboarding list page, or what you can do, you can, after the people opt in, you can directly redirect them to the onboarding page and have them fill it out. That could be this different system altogether. And then once they fill out, they start getting an nurturing email, like you send them 2 or 3 emails to make them hop on a call, and then you hop on a call, and then you deliver value, and then you pitch your service, and then you resell them, and something like that. That could be a totally different system based on your needs and based on your experience. You can create different freelancing systems, and it will vary from a freelancer to freelancer. You have your freelance system set up and it's already in place. The key element here would be driving traffic. Now people think driving traffic is a huge problem today. Let me tell you, in 2021, traffic is never a problem. Traffic is more like a commodity now. Just like, you can buy vegetable in a market, or you can buy vegetable in a shop, or you can, the same way traffic is a commodity now. You can just pay, $50 to Facebook and ask them to send traffic, or there are lots of mediums to generate traffic. So traffic is not the problem. It's the investment problem. Can you make that investment to generate the traffic, or can you invest time to drive organic traffic? I would suggest focus on paid traffic. 2 reasons. First, organic traffic takes time and it requires a tremendous amount of effort, so you won't have time to do the freelancing. Simple way, if you have a freelance client, consider 15% or 15 to 25% of what you make every month in freelancing, dedicate that to driving traffic to your freelance system. Simple. So again, I'm repeating this, it's not a traffic problem, it's an investment problem. Are you ready to make that investment? If you're yes, then you will never run short on clients. Now the other approach, you have a traffic source. Let's consider for this, Facebook advertising is the traffic source for here. Now you run a Facebook ad, send people to your opt-in page, or to your let's say calendar link, wherever you decide to. I would suggest create an opt-in page. You have this traffic source, you send people to your opt-in page. After that, you qualify them. You send them in intake form, or you redirect them on an intake form, or you ask them to share their mobile number so that you can hop on a call, or you can send them a text message and all. You can do pretty much anything here. So just decide what fits best for you. Traffic source, you decide on a traffic source, you send traffic to your opt-in page, then you qualify people, then you sell. After selling them, if whether they convert or whether they don't convert, if they convert, then you put them in a different basket, or you put them in a different list. If they don't convert, put them in a list where you deliver value through an email sequence, whether you deliver value about what they have discussed, whether what they need. Let's say for example here, $1,000 on redesigning his website right at this moment. So what you would do, you can set up 4 email sequences that will build that trust in him, that will deliver value to him. Like that, you can simply give him an idea about how a simple case study or things like that. So you set up an email sequence for these clients who have not converted with you, deliver them value and deliver them delight. They will convert with you in future if you approach, or they might convert while the email sequence is still going on. So that's the third stage. You sell them. After that, whether they can work with you, whether they don't work with you, you reconnect with them. You build that that connection with them, so that your name is there in their phone or in their email contact informations, like that. The advantages of that, if they might have not been a good condition to work right now, but they will be in a good condition to work with you in future. You don't know in what condition the client is right now. So it's always good idea to reconnect with them, and they might need different service from you, or different things, like, or you might can offer a product which you have created, something like. So it's always good idea to touch base with all your clients after 45 days, 55 days, or 60 days, depending on your time schedule or something like that. Now this is where CRM plays a very important role. If you don't have CRM, then this stage will be very impossible for you to do it. It's going to be very time consuming for you to do it also. And by not having this stage, you are killing lots of opportunities, and these are opportunities which are very easy to convert, and they don't require same amount of effort that you need to make in converting a potential client, because these clients, they already know you, they have already worked with you, they have already received a tremendous amount of value from you. So it's very easy to convert them if you just approach them on the right time. So this is another approach which you can take to create your freelance system. Once you create the freelance system, there's nothing else that you can do. It's the game of volume. Like the more traffic you send, the more leads you'll get. The lesser the traffic you send, the lesser leads you'll get. Simple. There's nothing else than that. Like no X factor, no Y factor. It's pure, like clear as water. It's the game of volume. The more traffic you can send, the more leads you'll get. So that's why I told you, if you have a clients, this freelance clients, decide to invest 15 to 25% of what you make in advertising or in driving traffic to your freelance system. I have already gave you an idea about what is a freelance system is and why it's important, because you wouldn't want to rely on a hope and pray method to get clients in future. That doesn't work anymore, because there are like thousands of people looking for client every day. So the hope and pray method, the social media posting, that does not gonna work always here. So you need to have a system now, here right now. So I'll summarize the whole thing. So the conclusion here is action drive results. So I just gave you a proven system that will generate leads or potential prospects for you on a consistent basis. But whatever you have learned in this video is pretty much gonna be useless if you don't implement them. Action is the only thing that drives result. There's nothing else other than action. There's nothing that drives result. So if you are not taking an action of what you learned today, then forget it. You won't be able to grow as a freelancer. You won't be able to just make that headline, okay, 6-figure generating freelancer, 7-figure money generating, profit generating freelancer. No, action is the only thing that's gonna get you there. Now you need to build your own system. You can replicate what you just learned here, but you need to build your own system or customize what you just seen here to meet your requirements. So you can't just pretty much take everything and replicate, because I strongly recommend it won't work for you, because what you provide and what I provide is two different things. And again, I told you, it's not about how good your lead page is, how good your client intake form is. No, as long as you have a very decent client intake form, which you can read out my blog post, how to create a very decent client intake form that is not too intrusive, or that is not too demanding on client, or they don't feel too burdened to fill it out like that. You can read that blog post. You'll find the link in the description. It's a game of volume. It's not about how good your system is, how polished your system is. The more traffic you'll drive on your system, the more profit you'll make. Simple. Now, inaction is the crime punishable by being labeled as failure. All the people who are failure are the one who decide to be not taking an action, or they give up. After taking an action, they give up when the things go tough. So inaction is the only thing that's going to make this whole thing flop. You won't be able to generate any clients. It's not. If you have this system in place, you will be able to generate clients on a consistent basis, because it's proven. And this is what the big freelancer, the 7-figure, 8-figure profit makers freelancer use, and also the biggest digital agencies use this system to create clients on a consistent basis. So again, I'll repeat this. Actions is the only thing that drive results. So take an action now. As I promised in that I will give actions item or task in my every videos, so that you learn, implement what you learn. Now the action items or the task for this video is create your own lead or client bait offer page. You need to create a simple offer page that works for you, that you think will get you the email ID or the contact information of potential prospect. If you don't want to create it, or if you don't have that budget like the website or something like that, then you can find 5 to 8 job listings or job posting site where you can find project related to you. Save them in a list. Now after you have this, drive some traffic, get some lead, or reach out to some work project, and then send them your intake form, or apply for at least 5 job posting that meets your requirement from the job boards. Set up an effective follow-up sequence for all these leads, or the job listing that you have applied for. Delight them with value, delight them with what you can offer. Store all your client information in a CRM or in a Google Excel sheet, or Google Excel sheet. It doesn't matter. You just need to have their contact details saved, and when when you have worked with him, what you have worked with them, how much they paid you, and all that thing, so that you can form your re-approach strategy, reselling strategy accurately. So these are the action items that you need to do in this video. Now again, as I mentioned, the battles are won by preparation. So this is a battle. You are consistently battling with other freelancers to get clients, and to win this battle you need to be more prepared as compared to other freelancers. You can't be just like wishy-washy and think that you'll get a client. No, if the other person is more prepared than you, then forget about it. That client will always gonna choose that other person, because they can see that how prepared that other person is. So if you want to win the battle of getting more clients, then you need to be prepared for it also. By creating a system, you are preparing for a huge success, and you are already ahead of almost 90% freelancers who are relying on hope and pray methods, social media, and all those things. You are already ahead of it by just creating a freelance system and driving traffic to it. So please prepare. Thanks for watching my video. See you in my next video. Please subscribe to my channel for more videos like this, and hit that bell button so that you get my notification for my future videos. Take care.